Good afternoon. Timothy Keith here with Everybody Happy Wine Company and Select Wines Online, and what you're looking at is a freshly fermenting Zinfadel tank. This is our Quartz Block Zinfadel from up in Amador County. We harvested this last week and it's been cold soaking, and we just inoculated yesterday with our yeast and it has taken off. So as you can see, got little foamy pockets protruding from underneath this mound of deliciousness. Get in another little close shot. We have all these whole berries that are still just waiting to open up and release all their flavor. We've been punching this down just for one day so far, which we'll get a shot of that in just a little bit. Going to go at about 6 times today, and we'll talk about a little bit of what that means, and you'll see what that means here in a little bit. But just wanted to give you an aerial photo. So we're looking at right now is our temperature gauge here at the Zinfadel tank. That top number is the temperature inside the tank. That 80 degrees is the cap of our tank, which is all the skins and seeds that, now that it's started to ferment, have floated to the top. The number on the bottom, 88 degrees, is what I don't want it to go above. So if it hits that temperature, our jackets, these guys right here, will click on, and chilling glycol will go through and chill it back down so it doesn't get above 88 degrees. Now 74 degrees, which you see there, that is the temperature down below. Now this section here on the tank, if you were to look inside, is pretty much 100% the wine. It's the free-flowing liquid. And we've got that set to 75 degrees. So if it goes above that, it'll click on and do the same thing. Now when we do punch downs, what we're doing is we're pushing those skins that you saw up top back down into that free-flowing juice, and we're extracting more flavor, we're keeping the cap wet, and it's adding more flavor and more flavor as we go. Think of it like as a tea bag in its like cup of water, and eventually you just extract juice straight from the tank. And just like during the vineyard aspect of this, we're going to check the sugar levels, because sugar becomes alcohol, and so we can monitor the rate of the fermentation by the decreasing amount of sugar. Now, get a little shot in there. When we started this day, this sample was at 21 degrees Brix. We made our first addition, which we add nutrients to the fermentation to keep it happy. And eventually we'll have to make a second addition, which we're probably going to do depending on what the sugar level is at this point. So come on into the lab and we'll check that out. All right, so in the vineyard we used refractometry. Here in the winery we're going to use what's called hydrometry. And so basically we take our sample, we put it in this graduated cylinder, as you can see here, and we use a hydrometer. And so depending on the density of the juice sample, we can determine with this hydrometer, see if I can, oh, there we go. See those numbers, 25, 30, we can determine where the Brix level is at. So here we go, let's see, boom, drop it in, and see where it settles. Right, look at that. So we started the day at 15 degrees Brix, or 21 degrees Brix, excuse me, there's the 15, and it's about 2 notches below that. So we're at 17 degrees Brix. So we've dropped another 4 degrees, and that's perfect. We're right on schedule. We can make our second addition of nutrients, and tomorrow morning when we come back to this, we probably will expect it to be right around 11 or 10 degrees Brix. So that's your hydrometry lesson. We'll get the punch down individual here in a second. What we have in this bucket is a mixture of what we call superfood and DAP. There's the DAP down there, the white powdery stuff. And so basically what that is, DAP is just nitrogen. It's kind of like candy for fermentations. Gets it all hyper, gets it really producing a lot of alcohol, eating up that sugar. And what the superfood is kind of a complex ingredient. It's like your vegetables. It's what keeps the ferment safe and clean. So you gotta understand, fermentation is a very hostile environment. Heat's being generated, alcohol's being generated, CO2's being generated. And so this kind of keeps all the membranes and all the cells around the yeast healthy enough so they can consume all the sugar. And the nitrogen basically just gives them a little nitro charge. We're also gonna add, oh, oak chips, fine French medium. And we're not adding this for flavor or aromas like in the aging process. We'll actually age them in French oak casks. We'll put this in, and what that does is it stabilizes color and stabilizes tannin. It's a natural occurring item, and I like to keep things as natural as possible. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull some juice with our pitcher. It's got a little bit of residue from the other stuff, and dissolve the superfood and DAP in that, and basically we'll get it all mixed up into a little slurry. Then we'll toss it into the tank and punch it all down together. Typically I might use water to do this, but our sugar at harvest was 26.2, which is going to produce an alcohol right around 14.8, which is pretty ideal for Zinfandel, at least in my opinion. So I don't want to add any more water to this fermentation because I don't want to dilute it any more than I have to.
All right, so we're at the last part of the day. I've got my Lucky Oregon Ducks shirt on. We're gonna kick the shit out of pardon the language, kick the S out of Stanford this weekend. But I gotta hurry up because I got a Giants game to go to. So we've got our addition here, DAP and superfood. Got our oat chips, which we're gonna add in. Get the bag open. And then a couple other tools. I'm gonna be aerating the tank with pure oxygen, right? So pure O2 gonna be bubbling through the bottom. That's gonna help break up this cap. That way when I go for the punch down, it's nice and gentle. This is what we'll be using for that, all right? Got that on. All the way down. Lots of CO2 being pushed up. Not really safe on a ladder right now. Woo! All right. So, it's going to break through the cap. At this point, we'll take our addition of DAP and superfood and add it right in. Alright? Now it's going to bubble all the way through. It's going to really become homogeneous in the tank. Next part, our oak chips. Spread those all the way around. We want it really blended in nice. And now, fun part, the manual labor, the punch down. So it breaks up the cap, makes it a lot easier to get through. So look at that, nice and mixed up, beautiful color. That was a smell and view camera. You would get some great aromatics right now. But instead, you just get to look at my sweaty face because this isn't as easy as it looks. So that's about the most exciting part of a punch down. I'm going to work the rest of this in, and I'll just see you guys in a couple of days, all right? So enjoy.